Hello everyone, my name is Nadeem Khan. Welcome to Uncommon Literature. Today I am going to tell you about the works of John Wycliffe. So his timeline is 1330 to 1384 and he was in the Chaucer's age. He is known as the morning star of Reformation because the Reformation is a time in the King Henry VIII when he broke away from the Roman Catholic Church. That is called the Reformation movement in England. So why John Wycliffe is called the morning star of Reformation? Because he was the one who sowed the seed of the challenge to the church authority. He wanted to reveal the corruption in the church and the people related to the church, like clerks or the popes. He is best known for his complete translation of Bible from Latin to Middle English, but it was not completed by him, but later his scholars named Nicholas of Hereford and John Purvey completed this Bible. So he felt a need to challenge the corruption in the church, and he believed that each layman should know God's law as told in the Bible. So that is why he wanted to translate the Bible into the language of the common people so that everybody can read it and understand it. His followers were called Lollards and they led to the Lollards movement. So, what were the beliefs of these Lollards, the followers of Wycliffe? First, that Pope had no part to play in the worldly affairs. So, they wanted Pope to deal with the church affairs only and not to intervene in the world affairs. Second, the church was too worldly, that they believe that church has now become too worldly and less religious. Okay, so they were unhappy with this fact. The first important work of Wycliffe is The Truth of the Sacred Scriptures. The date is 1378 and it states that the Bible contains all that is needed for salvation. That is why he focused on the translation of Bible so that people can read it and they can find the way of salvation. The scriptures should be read by all men, not just the clerics. So he also believed that we should all read the scriptures and we should understand them ourselves and not through the people related to church, because in this process the clerics can also manipulate the facts in order to get some benefits from the common people. The second important work is the Pope's Power, 1379. It's the date of this work, and here we have the most important point that the papacy is an occupation which is instituted by man only and not by God. So the role of a pope, it is started or it is authorized by the man only and not by God himself. Okay, so in this work he talks about this idea. In the next work called Apostasy, dated 1379, Whitfield condemns the Roman doctrine of transubstantiation. The meaning of this is the belief, especially by the Roman Catholics, that during a mass, which is a religious ceremony, the bread and wine are changed into the body and blood of Jesus Christ. Okay, so there is a belief of the Roman Catholics which is called transubstantiation, which is related to some religious ceremony, and he condemned this idea in Apostasy, that is his work. In the work on the Eucharist, dated 1380, Wycliffe denounces the idea of Christ's real or corporeal presence in the Eucharist after consecration, meaning that there is a ceremony in which, that is called Eucharist, in which bread and wine are put at the altar in the church, and Eucharist is a ceremony which is related to the Christ's last supper with his disciple, and that bread and wine are dedicated to Christ, okay, by the priest. That is called consecration. Okay, so the process of consecration is the process of dedicating that bread and wine to the Jesus Christ by the priest himself. But Wycliffe believes that there is no validity of it because it depends on the sanctity of the one who is receiving it and not of the priest. So basically he is against this idea that priest is consecrating the bread and wine to the God. So he does not want this. Rather he says that it completely depends on God to receive it. Okay. In the fifth and last one, that is called Trialogue, dated 1382, Wycliffe calls for a vernacular translation of the Bible for laity. So basically this is the work in which he shows his intention to translate the Bible in the vernacular language. Vernacular is the mother tongue or the language of the common people. For the laity, laity means for the common people who are the commoners and not only associated to the church. So basically if the Bible was in Latin, so the people related to church could only read it and not the outside the commoners. So what happened when he translated this, the other people could also understand it and they were not being fooled by the people related to church later on, because they also understood what is written in the scriptures. Okay, so these are the main important works of John Wycliffe. So I hope by now you must have understood why he is called the morning star of Reformation. So if you have any doubt, you can write me in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel and also share it with your classmates, friends and the people who love to read literature. Thank you so much.